Hey guys, welcome back once again. In today's video, we're gonna discuss question number 16 to 20 of MSAT Achieve Math Test. If you have not gone through my previous video, please find the link in the description box below so you can watch the videos of questions 1 to 15. All right, so let's get started. Question number 16 here is identify the quadrant when the sum of the complex numbers 3 plus 2i and 6 minus 4i is graphed. So this question is talking about the complex number. Let me tell you how do we represent a complex number in xy plane. So same as how do we represent the coordinates, we can also represent the complex number as well. So x-axis in this case is considered to be the real number, and the y-axis here is considered as imaginary, and usually we represent with as I term. So example, if I'm saying x here is 1, 2, 3 and so on, this is, instead of saying I, we say it as 1i or just I. This is going to be 2i and this is going to be 3i and so on. That's how do we represent the complex numbers. So now let's say, suppose if I want to talk about the coordinate, like here, this is the point corresponds to x is 2, basically the real number is 2 and imaginary number is 2. So this we write it as 2 plus 2i. Okay, so well, whenever we write the real number and imaginary number together, we write it as 2 plus or minus 2i, depending on the in which quadrant it is available, not the 2 comma 2i. 2 comma 2i we represent that in a coordinate geometry, but here we have to write with real plus imaginary together makes complex, because the general way of writing the complex number is a plus bi, where a is the real number, b is also real, but as it is getting multiplied by I, that is the imaginary term, the value of I is going to be root of -1. That's the reason we say this bi entire thing is an imaginary. So real plus imaginary gives you a complex number, right? Okay, so now question is, when you perform a sum on these two complex number, what is the quadrant where the sum results? So while performing the addition on the complex number, simply follow adding the numbers here, just add the like terms. Okay, so now look at here, add 3 and 6. So 3 plus 6, what it's going to give you, like 3 plus 6, it's going to be 9. Add again like term, that is 2i and negative 4i. So 2i negative 4i, the result it's going to be negative 2i. So the result of that 2 term what they have given here, after adding, it's going to be 9 minus 2i. So 9 minus 2i, what it's saying, the real number is positive and imaginary number is negative. So where, in which quadrant the x is, or a real number is positive and imaginary number is negative, that belongs to quadrant 4. So as we know that this is, we say it's a first quadrant, and there the real number and imaginary number both are positive. In this is considered to be the second quadrant, where real number is negative and imaginary number is positive. This is considered to be third quadrant, where real number is also negative and imaginary is also negative. So fourth quadrant, real, this is fourth quadrant here, real number is positive and imaginary number is negative. So real number sign is positive and imaginary number sign is negative, that corresponds to the quadrant 4. So that's, we say a is the right answer here. All right, okay, let's go to the next question. Again, next question is talking about uh, again an imaginary. So that is, they are asking us simplify I to the power 37. So remember, to solve this kind of question, they are very easy, just you need to follow the specific rule to simplify them. To before solving that, it's important to know the basics behind this. So always remember, I to the power 0, we know that any number to the power 0, it's gonna be 1. I to the power 1, just take it as I itself. Actually, we say that I to the power 1 is going to be root of -1, isn't it? So I is considered to be an imaginary term and its value is root of -1. So I to the power 2, write it as -1. I to the power 3, you can write it as -I, and I to the power 4, is equals to 1. So remember this one. So this value you have to remember. So I to the power 0 is 1, I to the power 1 is I itself, I to the power 2 is -1, I to the power 3 negative I, and I to the power 4 it's gonna be 1. Now look, the important thing here is whenever a power here are even number like 0, 2, 4 something, whenever the powers are even number, your result is either +1 or -1. Okay, and when the powers are odd number like 1, 3 and all, your answer may be either, the result may be either +I or -I. So just remember this, just remember this all the values. Okay, then how do I solve this? Follow the simple technique to find at whatever the number 37, 100, 200 doesn't matter. What you need to do is whatever the power of I, just take it as it is 37 and divide this power by 4. Do the long division, don't do it by calculator because calculator won't show the remainder, because remainder is a most important part here. Divide this I 30, I to the power 37 which has been mentioned, that 37 by 4. So 4 times 9 gives you 36, and then 36 minus 37 minus 36 is 1. So 1 is the remainder here, isn't it? So this is the remainder. Now what I can do, I can say I to the power 37 is equivalent to I to the power remainder itself. So that is the main reason why I need a value of remainder. And that is same as I to the power 37 is equivalent to I to the power 1. And we know that I to the power 1 value is I itself. That's, I can just write it as I, and that is answer A. That is answer to the question is A. So why I am dividing it I to the power like 37 by 4? Look at I to the power 37 can be written as I to the power 4 to its power 9 times I to the power 1, isn't it? So I to the power 4 to its power 9. So what it makes, I to the power 4, 4 times 9, 36. This together gives you I to the power 36 times I to the power 1. That gives all together as I to the power 37. So then we know that I to the power 4 value is 1. So it's going to be 1 to the power 9 times I. Any number to the power 1 is the number itself, that is 1 itself. 1 times I, that gives you I, right? Rather than doing it this one, this is the another way of solving, but if the numbers are very big, it's difficult. So better just divide whatever the number by 4, and whatever the result you're going to get to the power of that remainder itself is the equivalent number to that. So in this case, A is the right answer. All right. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Question number 18. Okay. So question number 18, it's a probability. Okay. Question says there is a 3 by 5 probability of rain on Sunday. The probability that it will rain on both Sunday and Monday is 3 by 10. If it rains on Sunday, what is the probability that it will rain on Monday? So this is basically the probability of certain event happening, like one day and another. So now they are given us the probability of raining on Sunday and Monday. So remember, whenever there is a and comes, probably I can write it as probability of Sunday and Monday. So probability of Sunday and Monday can be written as probability of Sunday times probability of Monday. And they are asking us what is the probability of raining it on Monday. So whenever there is a and, you have to multiply the probability. And whenever there is a or, it might be like that. What is the probability that it will rain on Sunday or Monday? So if there is a or term, I'm just telling you this is not relevant to the question what I'm solving here. You might get this one. Okay, so probability of Sunday or Monday, this can be written as probability of Sunday plus probability of Monday. So remember, whenever there is a term used or, it's basically addition. Whenever we are using the term and while representing, its multiplication in probability. Just simple, and it's for multiplication or it's for addition. So just remember this one. And the rule says probability of raining on Sunday and Monday can be represented as probability of Sunday multiplied with the probability of Monday. Now substitute their values. We know that there is 3 by 5 probability of rain on Sunday. Sorry, I have to represent this one with S. There is a probability of rain on Sunday is 3 by 5. So I know the value of probability of Sunday, it's going to be 3 by 5. So I can write here as 3 by 5 times probability of Monday. I have no idea what I need to find. And also they have given us the probability that it will rain on both Sunday and Monday is 3 by 10. It means this value, probability of Sunday and Monday, is 3 by 10. Now simplify this, as I need to solve for probability of Monday. Simplify this expression. So we have what we do now to solve, to isolate the probability of M, that's this term. So you just need to, the cross multiply this term. So numerator goes to the denominator and denominator of this term goes to the numerator. Then it becomes 3 times 5 by 10 times 3 is equals to probability of Monday. Or anyway, this is a calculator question. You can just put it and simplify it. All right. So 3 and 3 get cancelled out. 5 times 1, 5 times 2. Then that's what I'm getting here as 1 by 2. It's basically the probability of Monday. So answer to this question here, the probability of raining it on Monday is half. That's, or we can also say 50% or 0.5. These are the an equivalent options they might give you. So A is the right answer here, right? Okay, let's solve question number 19 here. Find a solution to the following system of equations. These are the system of equations. System of equations can be solved in different way, either by elimination or substitution. Go with whichever the way you feel convenient. Now I'll be going here with the elimination. So look at here, x square plus y square is equals to 7, as they have not given in a standard format, because they have given in terms of x. It nothing to do with, I can follow the same rule. And here x square minus y equals to 5. Now which term should I eliminate? Look at the term here, x square and x square here both are same. So just I can eliminate the x square and I can solve for y. Whatever the value of y we are getting, that itself is the answer, because there are not same values of y's are available. Y here is negative to some value and no solution, something they have given. Whatever the value of y I am getting, that itself is my choice without solving for x further. Okay, so let's eliminate the x square. To eliminate the term, what should we do? We change the sign of the second term here. Positive becomes negative. Elimination means basically subtracting the first term from the second. That's what, sorry, subtracting the second term from the first, or simply we do changing the sign. So the sign of x square is going to be positive here, so change it to negative. Y here is negative, change it to positive, and 5 here is positive, change it to negative. That's what the elimination is. After changing the sign, add them. Positive x square, negative x square becomes 0. That's what we cancel them. And here nothing to add with y square and all, isn't it? So this is, I can write this as y square plus y. I can write as y square plus y, because we don't have a like terms to add them, is equals to 7 minus 5, that gives you 2. Then you got an equation here as y square plus y equals to 2. This can also be written in the standard form of quadratic equation, y square plus y minus 2 equal to 0. As calculator is allowed, you can go simply to calculator, that's a scientific calculator which you carry, and use the operation mode 5. Mode 5 is for selecting the equations, and then 3 is for selecting the quadratic equation. So if you are pressing it mode 5 and 3, then you can solve this quadratic equation simply by inserting the coefficient of term y here, which we have mentioned. So I can show the same thing on how do we can insert in your calculator, but you follow the scientific calculator. I am just showing for the demonstration purpose. I'm using the online calculator available here. So thanks to the Google here, which giving us time, convenient to demonstrate. Okay. Quadratic equation here, ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. We got it in the standard format. and I just need to insert the coefficient of y here, isn't it? The coefficient of y square here is going to be what? 1, because the value of a here is going to be 1. Coefficient of the b, that's basically the coefficient of y is 1, and constant term c, it's going to be negative 2. Now insert the values here, insert the values. 1, I can write 1. The b value here is also 1, and c value it's gonna be negative 2. After pressing inserting this value in your calculator, if you press the equal or solve, so that you will be getting values of x. One value of y here I am getting here as sorry, which one is 1, and another value of y I am getting as negative 2. So after solving that, either 1 must be available or negative 2 must be available. So whichever is available, accordingly I have to choose. Now according to the option, if you observe carefully, these are the first values are always x and the second values are y. So y is available as negative 2, and there is no other where. Okay, so y is available as 1 as well. Yeah, so this is a trick. So look at here, y is available as negative 2, y is available as 1 as well. So then your answer may be either A or C. B cannot be answer, D cannot be answer. Now then how do I solve? How do I solve further? Then I need to solve for x. So how do we solve? So you can substitute the value of y as 1 either in the first equation, that is x square plus y square is equals to 7, and solve for x. So what we are doing here, so x square plus, I know that y square value here, let me start with the y as 1. So I can say 1 square is equals to 7. That gives you x square is equals to 7 minus 1, because when I'm 1 square is 1 itself, and when you're taking to the other side, then it becomes negative 1. So x square is equals to 6. So from this one, x is equals to square root of 6, isn't it? So put a square root on both the side. So x is equals to square root of 6. Is the value of x is available as square root of 6? No. Here in the option C, it is available as square root of negative 6, but it is, we must get it as square root of 6. So that's why C cannot be answer, A will definitely be answer. Okay, in exam, this is the way of solving. But here, as we are solving, let's verify with the term here. Okay, so as we are just learning it like how it works, so let's make sure that we are getting x as root 3. Let me substitute the value of x here as, sorry, now let me substitute the value of y as negative 2 in the same equation and check what value of x you're gonna get. Let me show here. Okay, so x square plus of y value here is, we know that negative 2. Negative 2 square equals to 7, and this becomes x square. Negative 2 square is gonna be a positive 4 equals to 7. Again arrange the term, x square can be written as 7 minus 4. So x square is equals to 7 minus 4 is going to be 3. I need the value of x, so put a square root on both the side. So x is equals to square root of 3. Yes, so x is available as square root of 3 and y as negative 2. That's why we say A is the right answer. As I said in exam, no need. Once you get the one value, enough. So definitely another value must be there. So don't waste your time while working on the another, right? Okay, this will be the last question for today. A question number 20 here. What is the solution set of the following equations? So solution set. So this is basically an exponential question. So before going to simplify this expression, let me tell you two important identities or rules what we're gonna follow here. The first rule what we're gonna use here is in an in exponent, if the bases are same, we can equate their powers. So let's take example. If I have a to the power 2x is equals to a to the power, let's say suppose 4. Now look at, in this case, a is called as a base and 2x and 4 are called the power, or we can also say exponent. So when the bases are same, here is also 2, here is also 2. In this case, what I can say, when the bases are same, then I can equate their power. So I can write simply as 2x equals to 4 and I can solve for x. This is the one rule what we're gonna use here. And the another rule here is a to the power x, example take it as m, and to its power as n. So whenever we have a power of a power, so instead of adding those powers, we need to multiply them. This can be written as a to the power m times n, right? So we have to multiply the power. So that's what the rule what we're gonna follow. Okay, but if you look at to the expression given here, we don't have a basis as same. So here it is 4 and here it is 2. Then how do I do that? So without making basis as same, I can't use this identity or I can't use this rule. Then how do we do that? Look, this base 4 and 2, I can make it as the same base. I can write 4 can be written as 2 square, isn't it? So I can write the 4 as a 2 square. Then this expression can be modified as 2 square to its power whatever the number as it is what they have, x square plus 4x is equals to 2 to the power negative 6. And I told power of a power will be get multiplied. So this is, let's say, consider this is the m and this is n. So what I need to do, I have to multiply 2 with the entire bracket. So this can be written as 2 to the power 2 times x square plus 4x is equals to 2 to the power negative 6. This is as good as I can write it here. Yeah, isn't it? So this is as good as 2, what we can say, distribute throughout that. This can be written as 2 to the power 2x square plus 2 times 4x is going to be 8x is equals to 2 to the power negative 6, isn't it? So now we made bases as same. Bases are same here. Here is also 2, here is also 2. Now I can equate their power. Now I can say 2x square plus 8x equals to negative 6. But if you look at to this equation, what you realize, this is in a quadratic form, but it is not in the standard form. So I have to take this 6 to this side. Then it becomes 2x square plus 8x plus 6 equals to 0, because negative when it goes to other side it becomes positive. Now again you can use a calculator as mode 5 then 3 and just write the coefficient of x square. That is, first write the value of a as 2, value of b as 8 and value of c as 6 and check out what values of x you gonna get. So let me show you on online calculator. I can substitute the value of a as 2 here and the value of b here as what they have given, what we got 8, and value of c here we got it as 6. After inserting like this, just solve it. So we are getting the two values of x. Which are those? So values of x are the solutions here are -1 and -3. So which are the options giving you the two values of x, one as -1 and -3? That is option A. So this is the right answer to the question and this is the way of solving. All right, okay, that's it for today. In the next video I'll be solving the next 5 questions, that is from question number 21 to 25. So please stay connected.